Hopefully everything's okay. Good evening, everyone, and welcome along to PSGL F2. We are here tonight for round number 10 of the championship. Yes, it's getting down to the nitty-gritty as we take in, of course, the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix from, of course, the Yas Marina circuit. And as you can tell, my name is James and I'm going to be taking to the stream, of course, as always. Apologies if we were lagging at the start. My OBS decided to disconnect, which is not that great at all. But, as you can also tell, Mr. Evan Dalton is not alongside me in the commentary box tonight. Joining me in the commentary box, though, we've found a very last-minute replacement. It is Mr. Evil Dragon, otherwise known as Liam. Liam, how you doing?
Well, hello everyone, and good evening to you, Mr. James. As I am the headless person because I don't have a camera. Well, I should invest in getting myself one of them, but we'll figure that out eventually. But yep, I'm here again as the super sub of commentators this season, and we are here in lovely Abu Dhabi around the Yas Marina Island. I'm looking forward to this one. Of course, championship could be decided tonight, but that's all to be decided in the next hour and a bit. But though, crucially, James, how is everything going on your side?
Everything is now going fine. I thought I was going to have a major meltdown for a second there, but it's all fine. Well, we've got the stream up and running, which is the main thing. You guys, of course, have seen that in the chat as well. So I do apologise about that, by the way, in terms of the lag that you might have experienced in the trailers. Hopefully it will get better. My internet has been down today as well. So if anything goes to pot, just blame it on that. Blame it on Virgin Media and just blame it on anything else, frankly. Other than Mr. Evan Dalton, of course, being not alongside me on the contract, you can blame it on him as well. But we are here tonight, of course, for PlayStation F2, and we are here, of course, for the driver standings as well, as Namsco, of course, leads the way still in the championship, even though he actually got outperformed by Volakongan last week in Australia. In the end, Volakongan with 8 points for his name from last week, Namsco with 4. The winner, of course, last week was Kian. Dina was second, Aurelian there in third, and that really brings about a change in the championship. Apart from Steph, who've obviously been promoted to PSF1, we are going to be seeing a five-way fight at least going into this round of the championship. Namsco, Volakongan, 67 and 62 points, respectively, with Kian technically in third on 53, Stefano technically in fourth on 52, and Aurelian there in fifth, technically on 51 as well. And Liam, we are already getting into the lobby. It looks like these guys want to start a little bit early, which is very good from their perspective. 5 cars, though, basically going into tonight. Kian has had recent form, 2 out of the last 3 wins, Portugal and in Australia. He surely is the man to watch in this title fight.
Yeah, he's going to be very close to see what he can do. I mean, everyone, never say never, but Kayan, who of course won in Australia, of course he won in Portugal, didn't score in Belgium as well, presumably had an incident, but the top guys, the top 2 in the standings, they've not had the best couple of races. I mean, they've got 2 points, 4 and 7, of course, and Vol, as I'm going to call him, because I can't pronounce the full name. I'm pretty certain he is German or Dutch. Figuring it, but I never know. He got, of course, neither. He got 12 points in Portugal, 2 with an asterisk, so he's done something there. As well, to be fair, also Namsco got 2, so I don't know what's happened there. Something's happened on there, but he also got 8 in at Fast Lap. He got 8 in Australia, so it is going to be closing. And of course, Abu Dhabi, a very hard track to overtake on the older games and on the older layout. This new one, which I like a lot. And crucially, it's not raining, which it tends to do sometimes around this track. But it's going to be fun to see who is going to be leading what, who is going to be where. The championship can be decided tonight. However, for poor Evan's sake, because he's ill and we hope he gets better, we heard he was in hospital. So everyone give Evan a hug. He's somewhere. I don't know if he's in the chat, but give him hugs, is what we're trying to say. But hopefully he's back next week when we head off to America, of course, at the circuit of the Americas in Kota. And of course, unless it's Miami, it could be Miami. Is it Miami or is it Kota next week?
You're right, Kota.
Good. Excellent. I haven't actually seen what races it was. I mean, because it could be anything. But first car's out on track we've got, and it is the Aston Martin, I believe, first out on circuit in that beautiful livery, which shines perfectly under the floodlights here in Abu Dhabi. And I must say, a shiny livery is always the best.
It is indeed. It makes you realise as well the racing green that the Aston Martin also has out on track. Of course, Kian is the first man out on track. We've already analysed his potential progress coming into tonight as well. Of course, 2 out of the last 3 wins. And also getting very Larry coming out of turn number 8 and 9 as well. Gillian Parker, by the way, in the comment section saying good evening to everyone. Good evening to you, Gillian. Hope you're doing well. Matthias in the comment section, I know him very well. He's saying come on, Volakongan as well. And also Lela Bellin saying it's just going to be another Manic Monday. Yes, it is. It's going to be like the Spangles Manic Monday, I think, potentially, in terms of these racing out on track. Apologies, by the way, if we did lag slightly there as well. Just seen we dropped frames a little bit on OBS, but hopefully everything is going to be okay. Everything's going to be hunky-dory, and hopefully everything is going to get, I hope, according to plan, going tonight, as now Kian comes to the right hand of turn 15, then to the right hand of turn number 16, of course, formerly 21 corners, now only 16 corners with this track layout, as we now come down in towards turn number 1, with the potential championship leader coming out of tonight as well, if he does perform well, of course. Kian under turn number 1, to the left-hander of turn number 2, then to the right-hander of turn number 3, and takes a bullet out just for good measure there, coming through turn 3, and now to the first sector split to 17-2 in the first sector from Kian, as he now embarks on the hairpin of turn number 5, all the way down the straight now, in towards the new chicane of 6 and 7, or the old chicane, I should say, of 6 and 7, and famously where Hulkenberg was hanging like a cow in 2019, I think it was. I might be wrong with that.
Yeah, it was 2019 when he had that flip contact with Romain Grosjean. Through the chicane comes the Aston Martin, which of course Hulkenberg subbed in 2 times this season, well, last season for Sebastian Vettel when he had COVID, but down the straight into the beautiful, slightly banked and absolutely brilliant long left-hander, which is corner number 1 of them. There's plenty. One day I should learn all the corner names on these tracks, but they change every time, and well, the maps always lie to me because there's more corners than he says, but into the triple right hand, of course, into the back section as you head under the hotel, into the overly cambered corners as you chuck it under the hotel, and then, of course, into the last 2 flat for the first bit normally. Let's see, is it full flat for them? Yep, here's a little bit. Slight twitch in the rear end as you head down into the last corner. And, of course, no Red Bulls to hold up the Aston Martin, so unlike real life, he will get a lap in, of course, first time 122.6. Behind that, a Mercedes has dropped it or got out of the way, but I think we've got the Aston Martin of Schumacher coming through the last corner, then burning all of the ERS up as he comes up to the line, 100, 20, 30, 40, and he goes up to the line at a 1 minute 22.9 as the other Aston Martin slots himself into third. Followed quickly by the Williams, who jumps into third, and then the Haas, which hopefully is going to jump into behind him, into fourth. Followed by the Ferrari of Valiant, goes up to third. The Red Bull goes up into seventh. Didn't set a fully competitive lap time, I suppose, for him. He's got a few other cars. One of the Alpines across the line of Rowan goes up to sixth. Behind that, the AlphaTauri of Will Murdoch, I believe, crossing the line. A little bit wide for good measure. Doesn't really get the run he wanted to do, and there's more time to find for that. AlphaTauri was squiggling and way off the road and only found himself down in ninth.
He does indeed. Kian though out on top of that 22.6, already putting it on the top step currently in qualifying. 22.9 as well from Schumacher, 22.9 from Aurelian there in third. Apologies, by the way, everything seems to be going wrong. I've just had Evan message me saying we had no game audio. Even worse, I had it muted as well. So thank you, Mr. Evan Dalton, who is eagle-eyed as ever, I am sure, in the comment section as well. Stefano as well is on to a lap as well as a footspab, 23.8. I read that, I honestly looked up on my screen and I thought that was a 223 instead of a 123. It is the sort of night I'm having, ladies and gentlemen. But Kian had on top, Schumacher there in second, Aurelian there in third. Already 5 minutes gone in qualifying. Stefano's not too bad in the first sector, 17.2 in the first sector. Coming through this left-hander of turn number 9, 52.4 in the middle sector is up there with what we saw, of course, with Kian on his first run. But the majority of drivers getting 1 laps in, then coming back in the pit lane. You can get at least 4, maybe 5 actually laps on this if you really try and make the timing around here as well. Stefano now comes to the left-hander of turn number 14 to the left-hander, and then to the right-hander of turn number 15 with Bay of the Marina on the right-hand side there, just coming out of camera shot. Stefano now through 15 into the right-hander of 16, looking to go ahead, maybe a Schumacher to the line, and he does indeed go second, 22.8, and the Alfa Romeos need that really in terms of their title fight, in terms of the constructors. Kian though out on top, Stefano in second, Schumacher in third. Just over 5 minutes qualifying has gone. Sapala has invalidated out of turn number 3.
Yeah, well, I think he invalidated out of turn number 1, to be fair. He was invalid when I cut to him, so presumably, unless he did it at the last corner of the previous lap, just pushing a little bit too hard. But of course, this track, very easy to overstep. It is a wide circuit, of course, like it is with all your Hermann Tilke circuits, very wide. Lots of overtaking, not really much elevation, but I'll give this circuit because it's very pretty. So it gets my golden standard. Add it to night time, which makes it, because, I mean, Abu Dhabi's also good. And obviously we've got Jeddah and all the other circuits. Bahrain's now nighttime. But this is the one I like at nighttime, mainly because it's twilight, and twilight races are always just the best races, in my opinion. So get more of them. I mean, Bahrain, I suppose Bahrain is kind of a twilight race. Kind of, but not really. You kind of start slightly light, but it doesn't really last. It lasts like 2 minutes.
Yeah, it does last 2 minutes, and obviously with the closeness of the race, and Jerry, by the way, is invalidated on his outlap as well, as I'm on board with him through this pot. But Abu Dhabi, this is honestly probably one of the best tracks, I think, on the game. Obviously, changed the track layout from 2021. Of course, Verstappen Hamilton happened then as well, which I'm not going to remind everyone in the comment section, because I'll probably call... Yeah, I'll probably cause World War III if I just have. But Jerry, however, is going to try and save me out of starting World War III. As we now come to the right-hander of turn number 3 with Jerry. The TFM running slightly wide there, coming through the first sector split, 17-2 in the first sector. Actually, I think mirroring Keane's first sector, dead on in terms of the thousands as well. So Jerry there coming through turn number 5, on the run down towards 6 and 7. Sapala is also done up on the lap thing. Namsco, the championship leader, has also just started up on the lap as well. He's out of the first sector split. Keane out on top of the final there in second, Schumacher there in third. Liam already saying in the comment section as well, not Liam alongside me in the comments box, OP Liam I should be on about. Jess, who are we predicting to win in PSF1? I don't know. We're very close indeed, as will I think PSF2 as well, as Jerry now comes out of the middle sector split, not looking too bad, 52.5 in the middle sector from the Dutchman, and that comes in toward the right-hander of turn number 12, and then into the left-handers 13, and then through 14, where Nicholas Latifi famously spun in 2021 as well. Of course, that safety car coming through that part of the track, through 15, and then into the right-hander of 16. The Mercedes looking very quick, I've got to say, on this lap. Jerry now on the run to the line. I thought it was a scrappy lap, but he goes top, 22.6. He can find a good 2/10 there at least.
Yeah, meanwhile, his teammate through the last couple of corners, he's set purple sectors as well, a little bit deep into the last corner, but he'll get hooked up in the end, take a straight line to the line, and he does not improve actually for a purple, 23.0. He crosses the line right there, so a little bit of a surprise for me right there. As one of the cars behind that will be Mississippi, still not to set a lap time, so he's gone. But he has set a lap time, 1:27.7, which is probably faster than I can go around this circuit, let's be fair. But not doing the lap he wants. We've got Noah up to the line. He's set purple on my screen again as he goes 14, so I'm just going to ignore when it says purple because it's just broken as we use it. And of course, we have Dara, who is out of the session, and we have Ron, who is in the pit lane still. I don't know if he has a quali ban or not, but I'm sure you probably know on that one.
Yes, he does. He does indeed. Aurelian, by the way, to the line goes third, 22.8. Caught at the end of the middle sector and the final sector there. Look very close indeed. Coming from that, Dara Smith, I think, retired, if I'm not mistaken, in the pit lane. So I'm assuming he had a qualifying ban as well. I actually didn't read the stewards report, which is what a commentator should do before we go live. I didn't actually read the stewards report, so I'm going to have to read these quite literally live as we go along. And I need to find the channel up there in stewards findings. There we are. PSF2. There we are. And yeah, Dara does have qualifying ban for impeding in qualifying with Kian. So apart from that, Ron hasn't got a lap time in. He hasn't got a qualifying ban. He just, I don't think, has actually came at the pit lane just yet. Has Ron down in 19th position. But Dara got a setup on, of course, retired there in the pit lane as well. He'll be looking to try and go towards the top end of the field as we go through the session, of course, will the McLaren. But Jerry out on top, Kian there in second. Devon as well, putting himself into third. Already in there in fourth. Just trying to flick on board with anybody that might be on lap. Rowan was on lap, famously now all. As Harry is improving, I think. Oh no, he's actually on the lap.
Yeah, Stefano wasn't on the lap, but I think he's backed out a bit somewhere. He went a bit wide at turn number 1. He was bolting it, not for very much longer, so he's gone down as Vol just improved to go into 8th position. Well, Murdoch down on his time as I scroll through the field to find a car. And like you said, Harry on a lap time as well as he come down into turn number 4, I think it is. He chuck it down into the long left-hander, which is very easy to overshoot and hit another car. It was a Williams, which I remember some Haas driver did last season. But here comes Harry down the straight, and of course, then you get on time to breathe. But of course, not for long, because this straight, of course, closes up as you reach the braking zone. Rather, I don't really know why it does that, because I guess narrows everyone up. But I don't like it. Like wide circuit. Give us more overtaking opportunities. Make the corner faster then, but nonetheless, He's gone green on the sector split right there. The first sector. What about the second sector split as he comes up to it? And it is purple sector 2 by 0.01 of a second. So who actually knows if that's purple or not? But it is on my screen and it is on the stream as well. So I'm going to say it's purple as you come down into the hotel section, which costs it costs an arm and a leg. Let's say that much. Beautiful though as he comes through the exit of the Williams. As long as he doesn't swip around. Oh, never mind. Wow, there we go. It's immediately. That has to happen eventually, but there we go. Drops it on cue, and away he'll go back. So no good lap time for the Williams, but he'll go again. Well, there's curse number 1 of the afternoon.
Yeah, and probably not going to be the last, judging by the curses that you've done in the past, certainly. By the way, Harry's just involved in coming into the pit lane as well, which I really don't get around this track. He was off a lap anyways, and obviously he's back in the pit lane as well. Footspab, I think, was on a lap. Dino is on a lap. He's on the line 123.1. In fact, I think he's just starting up on a run again. Kian, I know for a fact, was on a run, and he actually was on an out lap as he's purple in the first sector, certainly on my screen. Now, in terms of the middle sector split, I think it was around a 52.4, 52.3, I think it was, in the middle sector. So if he goes any quicker than that, you get an indication of how much improvement is going to come. Kian definitely has been improving, as Jess has mentioned just there in the comment section as well. And Kian is honestly the one to watch. He's got the form. He is the form man in PSF2 tonight. Jerry out on top, though. Currently, the reserve out on top from Kian there in second, Devon in third, as Kian now reaches the middle sector split. 52.4 in the middle sector, actually 2/10 up in the middle sector from Kian, and the OP man looking on fire here as he now comes through into the right-hander, or the double right, and turns 9, 10, 11, then into the right-hander turn 12, and once again, Kian looking very, very quick indeed. Now through the underground of 13, 14, then through into the right-hander of 15, runs slightly wide out of 14, just unsettled the car slightly, but Kian now coming through the final couple of corners. This is surely going to be pole position for now. Kian on the run to the line, 22.4, very good lap time from Kian. Jerry there in the pit lane still, he's going to wait, I think, until maybe to get 2 more runs out of the car, but Kian out on top, Jerry there in second, Devon there in third, and Liam, I honestly think 22.4 might not be enough for pole.
Well, it could be. Who knows? But we'll find out in the next 4 minutes and 30-odd seconds. But Namscope, he's the next car to cross the line. And he's going through the middle sector right about now. What's the sector split? 79 up, just no purple, just a green. So he's just going to try and get around about what's presumably going to be around about 6th or 5th position, because it is very close. Pretty much everyone up to third is only about 2/10 of a gap. So a small improvement is all it needs, as long as he doesn't drop the car, which he nearly did there, as long as he doesn't drop it here, which I've seen one car do it so far, so let's not make it 2. And to chuck it through into the long right-hander of the penultimate corner, and he dives into the pit lane, bails out of that one, so I think he did make a little bit of a mistake into turn 14, so he wants to get out of that one. Dino on a in-lap. We're just looking through to see who is on a lap time right now. I think everyone in the pits, apart from the Alpine, which is going for a lap in just a few moments time, so as long as he doesn't dive in the pit lane again, which knowing my luck he probably will now. But through the last corner, let's get ready for a lap time then with the driver that's coming in the pit lane, so never mind. As he dives in and ruins my fun. I tell you what, Ron, you should get on circuit, my friend. He's leaving it late. He wants to get that spare set of tyres for the race, as everyone is in, but your provisional order so far: Kian from Jerry, Devon in third, and of course Aurelian in fourth from Stefano Rowan, as they all start trickling out of the pit. Then actually the Williams and the Alpine, which I presume is it'll be Rowan, it'll be Harry, I believe, coming out on circuit right now as they go racing out of the pit lane. And well, already racing so far, and we've only just got into the session. I mean, it's beautiful. We love seeing that. But of course, Rowan going for the top 5 today, and let's see if we can do it. The last runs in qualifying as well. Remember, of course, it's a long circuit, but remember, traffic can always play a part of this. 19 drivers around the circuit, so they've got to be careful they time it well.
Yeah, that's what Noah's going to have to face as well. Obviously, with Rowan and Harry coming out the quick lane, he's actually on a lap right now, on turning towards turn 6 and turn 7, and he's looking to try and get towards the top end of the field. Currently in 16th position, I think it's a 23 flat, or 23.5 in fact. His personal best, he's got so deep in towards turn 6 and 7. I honestly, if I was him, I'd scrap this lap and then go for another run. And that's exactly what he's done. Listening to me, I'm sure, on the stream, not because he actually timed out the perfection with my technical energies that I'm sending him, or mental energies that I'm certainly sending him. Harry, though, and Rowan are about to prepare for that as well. I think Rowan is the furthest on at this stage. Cian, though, out on top, Jerry in second, Devon in third, with 2.5 minutes to go, currently in qualifying session as well. Liam W, another Liam in the chat. We seem to have a F2 full of Liams, I think, tonight. Liam and F2. Liam also saying about Jimmy Meld. Yeah, we don't want to get into the cheating debacle, but put it this way. If you're a cheater, then there's no place for you, I think, in this community. That's all I'm going to say, certainly, on the scenario. As Rowan, who's definitely not a cheater, coming to the left-hand return number 2, then to the right-hand return number 3, he looks to try and set a purple first sector, and his first sector split is 17.254, actually quicker than Cian in the first sector slightly.
Here he's pushing onwards a little bit. It comes down at the first of 2 DRS straight on this circuit. The first one, of course, right there as you pass by all of the buildings on the right-hand side, of course, into the beautiful grandstand, which is at the end of the straight. Chuck it in down there. Doesn't use all the curbs, so he could use a bit more. He could find a bit more time to chuck it over the exit of the curb in 4th gear. Build up the revs then. Now take it down to the long, flowing left-handers. As now you come, of course, where the... I'm pretty certain the endurance pit lane is, or the support pit lane when the F1 is on, as you chuck it through there. 44.100s up on his time. But that 44.100s will put him at least in 3rd position as he gets a little bit squiggly on the exit, down into the triple right-hander as you chuck it onto the brake, as you come into 13, 14, 15. You chuck it underneath the underneath the hotel. And as long as you don't do a Latifi again, and you've got it right, as there is a car out the way, that's one of the Aston Martin through the last corner. Again, a little bit squiggly in the rear end, not just sticking, but up to the line. Can he get it up into at least 3rd position? Yes, he can, 3rd position. Will it last 3rd is the answer. I'm not quite so certain on that one. Up to the line, we've got, will be Harry up next.
Ooh,
as he got sliders no up into the wall, as out of 15.
Jerry into the wall as well, coming out of turn 15, or turn 14 actually as well, clouted it on the right side end plate. He has got right side end plate damage, so that's why he's back into the pit lane. Harry, you mentioned there going 3rd as well. Rowan there in 4th. Not many improvements actually coming. Aurelian is coming through the underground of the grandstand, coming through 14, then through 15. He looks like he's on a good lap, the Frenchman, looking to try and provide himself with another top 2 finish here in qualifying as he now comes through the final corner on the run to the line, and Aurelian goes 2nd, 122.5. In the end, though, Cian not improving in the middle sector. 600s down out of the middle sector, but he can improve. Not like that, though, because he invalidates coming out of turn number 14. Schumacher's 600s down, 52.5 in the middle sector. They're all setting very consistent middle sectors. There's hardly any improvements coming. Harry and Rowan there 4th and 5th for now. Anybody else on lap? Dino's not on the lap. Will Murdoch, however, is on the lap, and he's actually flying through the final corner. On the run to the line comes the AlphaTauri, and he goes 9th. Into the top 10 he goes, 122.871. Schumacher as well, coming through the final couple of corners. I think he's going to be the final man on a lap, if I'm not mistaken. He will be indeed, as Schumacher to the line goes 9th and pushes Will Murdoch, in fact, out of it, as Volakongan went into 10th. And I think we saw an improvement from Stefano there as well. Namsko also going 4th there in the Mercedes, but Cian out on top. Aurelian there in 2nd, Jerry Bussell there in 3rd, Cian, that 4-man, as I mentioned in literally before we came live, Cian the 4-man, 2 wins out of 3, Portugal and Australia, on Australia to his name, now on pole here in Abu Dhabi. He is pretty much, I think, the man to watch out for tonight. Aurelian there in 2nd, he's also the 4-man coming in tonight, and Jerry, who's recently joined as a reserve, of course, in F2, he's there in 3rd, and championship leader Liam Namsko down in 4th.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty close to see, but of course, Cian on that pole position by just over a 10th, and, well, just under a 10th, 94 thousandths, I think it is, if my maths is correct, which it normally isn't. But we are just waiting for Harry to dive into the pit lane, and we can give your full rundown. Of course, luckily, no little issues with the game having its disqualification or the penalties, because the AIs decide to have some issues. So good to see we haven't had that, which I've seen the last couple of days. So hopefully that's fixed itself for now. But in comes Harry, and we should, any second, if the game's nice to us, give us the indicator right about now. No? What's going on? Oh, this is always scary when it does this. Game?
Is he making us wait?
I mean, he's giving me 20 seconds to go. I mean, it's giving us time, and this is where the AR is starting to bunch up now. If I cursed it massively, I think we might get away with it. I don't think anyone's going to get penalties. No, there we go. So I got worried for a second because the game was taking us away, but Namsko, who is in 4th position right there. But let's go through your rundown of qualification then for this race. And it is Kian on the top step of the thing, like 85,000. So I'm about 10 thousandths off of my prediction, so not bad. Jerry in third, Namsko in fourth, Harry in fifth from Rowan, Stefano, then comes Devon, Schumacher in ninth from Volkagon. One day I'll pronounce his name correctly. Will Murdoch in 11th from Aras in 12th, Dino in 13th, Kunf in 14th, Miss Billiard in 15th from Fruits in 16th, Noah in 17th, Dara in 18th, and Ron down at the back, not setting a lap time, but despite us saying he could. Now, if I remember correctly, formation lap is on or off? Off. So good to learn that one.
And we're going to go to a quick intermission break. Well, obviously, all of this now happens in the background. We're going to go to a slight intermission break. We'll be back in 30 seconds. And we are back for Abu Dhabi for PSF2 as well. A big thank you, of course, to our sponsors, our title sponsors, of course, GT Omega. All of the information is in the description below, along with the Williams Esports Lounge stuff as well. Two of our commentators, who I'll announce, of course, at the end of the stream, have been chosen to go to the Williams Esports in terms of free tickets, which is very good. They're going to meet George Morgan, the lucky so-and-sos as well. But, as you can tell, the timer now getting down to 0, and that means it's going to be a full-on hectic start, I am sure, here in Abu Dhabi, underneath the sunset here. 5 red lights going out in PSF2. And it is lights out and away we go. Keane does bog down after starting to run into alongside him in towards turn number 1. But at the end, Keane gets the lead in towards turn number 1. Jerry and the Mercedes actually going side by side. Namsko riding behind the championship leader. There's a huge bit of contact in the background. Dino forced off wide. Aries, I think, has been spun by his own teammate of Ron to the inside there. But Keane leads the way coming to the first sector split. Aurelian there in second. Jerry there in third. Namsko there in fourth. Rowan trying to force down the inside of Harry. And in the end, Kongan's going to have to try and force the inside of Stefano in the meantime as well. Bit of contact. I think Will Murdoch got caught up on the back there of Kongan, if I'm not mistaken, but on settling down, apart from Harry spinning in the background, and that huge carnage in towards turn 1 were all good in the foreground. Kean though leads the way, rallying there in second, nearly 3 wide, in fact, with Rowan and Stefano, I think, going side by side, and actually Rowan tries to go all the way around the outside, and the Mercedes actually gets him then on there, and that's Namsko, the championship leader, who's been spun, coming to the chicane there of 8 and 9. He's dropping down to 8th position at this stage, but Kean there leads the way, Aurelian there in second, Jerry in third. The front 3 have managed to avoid all of this carnage, and it's nearly 2x2 Noah's Ark as we come into turn number 9 for the first time.
Yeah, everyone just pushing to the limit. A bit more contact. That Mercedes getting shuffled up. Meanwhile, the Red Bulls very much getting shuffled up. As something's going to give eventually. Williams goes wide. Red Bull says thank you very much. There's more contact in the meantime. As behind them, it's like, who's going where is right now as the Red Bulls squabble away. The Williams going very wide as now the other Red Bull trying to come right back out the outside as Harry goes round and Harry dropped it in the middle of the pack. Is he going to get collected? No, he's not. While the rear ring's certainly gone. As up front, Kean's having good time. Yellow flags, Noah's off at the last corner. That's a big impact, and unsurprisingly, safety car immediately deployed. So Harry into the pit lane. He'll be very lucky if he's not got at least orange damage or yellow damage on that rear wing. That could already be terminal. In comes Ares, new front wing on for a set of medium compound tyres. As Noah is out of the session, he's left as well. He is going to be absolutely livid, but a mistake already. I didn't quite catch what happened, but I presume contact at the back. But everyone getting a little bit elbows out, a little bit argy-bargy at the start of that race. There was, the two McLarens tripping over each other immediately at turn number 1. There was contact between the Alfa Romeo. I think that was even Schumacher who got half spun around. There was contact with another Mercedes. It might have been Namsko getting involved with that. So everyone just getting a little bit close-quartered, a little bit of carnage, but of course, here in PSGL, we're expecting to see lots of close-quarter battles, so expect to see more of that one. As long as they keep the cars remaining mostly on the island, we'll be all good. But of course, real gainers out of this one so far. That is going to be Vol up 5 positions, up 6 for Foot down 12, of course, for Harry, down 6 for Ayres as well. He's had a terrible start, of course, with that damage, of course, out of the race. Noah, unsurprisingly, and expecting presumably everyone going to be staying out on their tyres for the time being. Of course, the top 4 on the hard. You might see the medium compounds come in, but it's a little bit too early to consider that one. A set of soft for Ayres, so he's just going like the crows flies. He's just going to go and see what he can do in this race. So he's got nothing to lose right now. Of course, Harry, who maybe has some rear wing damage. It was a fair old whack on the wall as he went backwards, but he might just get away with it. Come up to the safety car as they all slow each other down as well. We are on that number 3. Don't forget, if you are new, to hit like, subscribe, and notification bell as well to keep up to date with all the live action. Don't forget you can follow the other tiers as they go live throughout the evening as well. I think the F1 is on at 8 PM, I believe, is it not?
It is indeed. Jessica Ball and Aiden Carter delivering the goods, of course, there in PSF1, which I'm sure is going to be right down to the line in terms of that championship battle as well. Rowan and Legend are going right down to the absolute grips of their talent, I think, in terms of F1. It should be very interesting to see, of course. And, as well, after F2 tonight, you'll be actually redirected to F1 because I managed to work out the redirection for F2 to F1, and I'll literally put the stream in on OBS. So hopefully everything is fine, and hopefully we will be able to see you guys go to the F1 channels as well, which means you get extra viewers, of course, over there in F1. But Keane leads the way, Rally in there in second, Jerry there in third. Very good restart from the top 3. Apart from everyone else further down the field falling over each other, Noah, by the way, I think got caught in the outside curb. He went spearing off onto the right-hand side wall, basically into the wall, very similar to what Vettel did in Hungary. And, of course, he avoided the wall. Noah, though, straight into the wall, pretty much full on in terms of impact at around 100 and odd mile an hour coming off the corner. Either that or he got tapped either by Dino or Darrow, who I think were around him at the time. However, though, the safety car is going to stay out this lap, which means we can delve down, of course, into the strategy calls that everyone has gone on. Aries, by the way, did come in for another set of medium compound tyres, so he's actually done his mandatory 2-stop. As Nuth is into the pits. Nuth is into the pits, that's right.
I thought something happened there. Now that's for... has he got damage? Because it's very weird to stop. But he's gone for a set of hards because he's can see a gamble going on. Hards can last 20-something laps. So they might not go to the end. And I did heartbreakingly see someone try and go to an end of a race. They were 2 laps away from winning a race and they got a puncture. And then they were not winning the race. So hopefully we don't see that again. No, knowing my luck, it will. But like I said, Ayres, he just stopped a few moments ago to go on a set of mediums. And the car you were thinking of, by the way, he went into a wall at the last corner. Sergio Perez, remember, he did that, 2014 as well. A horrible accident, really. I mean, that car hit the wall and I was like, ooh, that doesn't look good. Vettel did it and somehow survived because Vettel luck, he's, you know, just after his title winning, he was always going to get away with some luck because I'm pretty certain he hit the wall, but he didn't do any damage, unless he got very close to it. But anyway, everyone on the straight safety car is in this lap because the last car catching up to the back of the snaky train right now as everyone warms their tyres up. Everyone on the top 4 on the hards, apart from 1 on the medium, and then it is pretty much everyone else, apart from Harry and Ayres, have got the hard compound tyres on. So it's going to be interesting to see what those medium tyres can do. They will have a bit more grip, they'll have a bit more temperature. And it is all going to be about getting the start correct, of course. Because as we know, safety cars historically breed safety cars in league racing, and any time I see it, it normally happens. So, really, let's not put the buzzer on it right yet, but in a few seconds' time, we'll see it Kian decide when he's going to slam the throttle on and go away, as he almost ends up having a Ferrari in his rear diffuser right there. And so they get a little bit close. He's just backing the field up down to 30 miles an hour. Now, he needs to be careful. He doesn't drop any slower than 30 and speed up and slow down because he can get himself in trouble. Now he's sped up to 40, up to 50. He can't now slow down to 30. Otherwise, that is technically illegal, and he might get himself in trouble for that one. But he's gone and bolted, and he is away straight away. So that's worked very well for him. He's already got a half a second gap as everyone now comes down into the last corner. And it's Kian then leads that field away then by 6/10 of a second from Aurelian. Then comes Jerry, and then comes Rowan. As everyone comes down the straight, is anyone already lining up potential moves in towards turn number 1 straight away? Not quite so yet, as Namco goes a little bit wide, as Namco drops the rear end there. gets away with it as he really struggled to warm those tyres up. Now he's got an Alfa Romeo trying to swamp around the outside. Won't do it around there. As up the road, is everyone getting themselves away? Yes, they are, as the Alfa Romeo sends one up the inside. A bit of contact on the outside as up behind them. The Alpine and the Ferrari go squabble. More contact down the straight as the Mercedes there comes to a blow and again comes to a blow down the straight. And these guys getting close. Schumacher there giving them a good old squeeze. Is Namsko as they can't do anything there. And the Ferrari having to go avoid around the outside as well. He almost tried to go it. Couldn't quite. Now the Alpine tries to do the old switcheroo, but gets really switcherooed around into a circle. 360 degrees. Now gets back going. And that, unfortunately, is the end of that one for the car, as he was sent spinning around. But I think apart from that, everyone relatively keeping each other in good nick as Dino battling away of Harry around the outside. Won't do it around the outside there, Sunshine, as he almost loses the rear end as well. And these guys are pushing it quite heavily right now. And well, of course, no traction control, I remember. All assists, I think only line is enabled, if memory serves me correctly. Is it all no assist at all, too?
No assist at all. Yeah, no assist at all. And obviously, I think that goes for the top 6 tiers in PSGL as well, as Kian sets a fastest lap of the race. 26.9, very good lap time from him. Obviously, 6 tenths clear of the rest of the field. Volakongan is lined up to move on Rowan. Rowan got very much caught on the outside curb on the last lap around, and Volakongan was there to try and capitalise. In the end, though, Namsko spun behind him, and I think he had a little bit of a terrified moment in towards turn 2 himself as well, and that's why Volakongan's still there in 5th. But he's on that sort of medium compound tyres. At this part of the race, he's obviously going to be one of the quickest guys out on track as well. No DRS, of course, until next lap around, but he doesn't even need DRS. Here comes Volakongan to the inside on the Norwegian, passes the Dutchman to the right-hand side, and the LP man down into 5th. Volakongan now Thurney's into 4th, and that was absolutely easy pickings there from Volakongan. The Norwegian Thurney's into 4th, Rowan there in 5th, and also further changes down the field. I think Harry got ahead of Dara Smith, and Dino getting ahead of Harry's as well, who I think got caught actually straight on there, coming across the curb. There he is on the right-hand side, just cutting across where the old Endurance pit lane is, and the GP2 pit lane is as well, back in the day, as Harry's there on the back of Ron, 15th and 16th position, Nuke there in 17th, Sapolo there in 18th, but Kean still holds the lead from Aurelian in 2nd, Jerry in 3rd, as Devon's trying to line up Stefano in towards the middle sector, now in towards the final sector, of course, in towards turns 12, 13 and 14. But on settling down, everyone now in their rhythm, everyone now hopefully not going to be losing the cars. As soon as I said that, Devon's just made a mistake on the inside curb. Doesn't want to do that, but look at that for a helicopter cam coming through the final corners. Absolutely unbelievable scenes. Devon now under pressure from Schumacher, and in the end, Devon not really pulling out a gap to try and close down on Stefano in the end. Indeed, he's in an Alfa Romeo sandwich at this stage.
Yeah, DRS now enabled after 7 laps, of course, as, of course, the safety car at the start meant we had a little bit of a delay on that, as Kia just not outside of the DRS window. So, contact, who's off? That's Miss Sipila, who dropped it at Miss Barla down at turn 1, safety car, redeployed. You know, I said we finally got DRS. Well, no, DRS is now disabled. So, sorry, DRS fans, you're not getting it for the time being, as the front wing of Miss Barla is now strewn in the wall, and the second safety car of this afternoon is now out. So everyone back into it now. You gotta wonder, the medium compound tyres, do you reckon they will chuck it straight into the pit lane, like Matai saying in the chat? You might as well now chuck it in for a set of hard compound tyres. It should, in theory, now pretty much get to the end of the race.
It should do. 22 laps still is going to be very hard. I've done commentary around here on this game before, and I normally say that the medium compound tyres can last anywhere to around the halfway stage, and then they really start to drop off. They really get towards 60-70% tyre wear. The hard compound tyres, I think, are in the same boat. I wouldn't really want to risk onto a set of hards early on, just given that, of course, drivers can and will possibly have mistakes as well further through the field. Volakongan, though, is into the pit lane, so that medium compound tyres is going to go off on that set of hards. I think Devon is also, Schumacher, I should say, is also coming in the pit lane. That is from a set of hards, I think, onto a set of mediums, and then he can go 2 stops for a set of mediums again. So that's actually probably the smartest strategy to be on at this stage. Volakongan, though, he can easily come in and go on another yellow wall tyre. In fact, he doesn't. He goes on to a white wall hard compound tyre. So Parla, just for good measure as well, has picked up a 3-second penalty for coming into the pit lane and getting multiple warnings, which is what I said in qualifying is the most ridiculous track limits I think I've ever seen. Even though I did see, I think it was LOE in Japan, was it? Or it was a commentary last week that I saw terrible track limits at, and oh no, it was the Netherlands. It was the Netherlands. It was Tuesday. I was commentating in the Netherlands. Basically, somebody cut the pit lane entry into the pit lane in the Netherlands. Picked up a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pits, and he didn't even reach the line.
Oh, well, that's not very, that's not very nice. Well, never mind. That's a shame. Dino's gone on the set of soft compound tyres, meanwhile. He's running out of tyres, I think, at this stage. I think he's already stopped at least once or twice, has he not? Is it the first stop? First stop. So he's gone for a set of soft. Now, that's either A, a mistake, or B, he's just going to go and see if he can make up some moves and presume there's going to be another safety car pretty quickly afterwards, and he can try and capitalise on a few things. But this is an interesting strategy call then, if he doesn't decide to come straight back in for another set of tyres, a set of mediums or hards. So we should keep an eye on that one. But everyone else, presumably, now is kind of forced to stay out on the tyres they are on. So everyone down to, well, pretty much all the way down at the back. So it's going to be interesting to see now what happens, of course. At lap 8 of 29, we've had 3 laps of full racing pace, and we're going to see, are any of the leaders going to decide to take a strategic call to dive straight into the pit lane a little bit earlier than expected? I think one looked like they were. I think they've all stayed out then. So no one trying to throw away track position right now as someone's in. That's Rowan. That's Ron in the pit lane. So is it a hard compound tyres, I reckon?
Yeah, it has to be. Set of hards, 19 laps, they're doable. I'm certainly saying that. Will Murdoch has left the session. He's there in ninth. Yeah, he's there in 9th position. He's disconnected. Sapolo's now going to go through and Ron. So that means Ron is now down at the back of the field. And there was a very funny comment. It's been put in the last 2 weeks, actually, in the F2 attendance, where Will Murdoch has had a bout of Ron Zeus-itis, which is not the best thing at all to say, of course, in terms of non-attendance. He's just obviously having a joke there in 9th, but of course he hasn't got one around him, which I think is going to be much better for his say in this race, of course, if he does rejoin the session, of course, as well. Anoop there in the chat saying disable the safety car. I've got to agree with you, my friend. I think, honestly, safety car, at this stage, certainly, we've only had 2-3 racing laps, so if you get another safety car, and then another one, and then another one, probably best to disable the safety car, I think, after tonight, in the whole grand scheme of this race. In the grand scheme of the whole league, probably not the best idea. Of course, it does cause the drivers to obviously back up into the pack, and obviously as well, we are going to see some, hopefully, really good action out on the track. I think Will has just retaken control of his car, and I think the safety car is going to be coming in this lap around about on the exit of, oh, actually, it's coming now. Yeah, safety car is coming in this lap. He's now the virtual manager, he's now the virtual safety car, he's got a rally in there right on him, and Liam, is Kian again going to go on the exit of turn 14 and just try and string out that gap as much as possible?
Well, he's got to be careful now he doesn't do the same trick twice, because they might not catch each other out. They might realise that's what he's going to do and anticipate that's when to go. So if I'm him, I'm backing up a little bit more aggressively and going slightly earlier. That doesn't mean to want to be careful to back them up too much so there's contact, but I reckon he will go just out of this corner here. Safety car comes in now, and there we go, he's gone. So there we go, my 10th, is it 10th, 11th, 5 seconds for ignoring yellow flags for Miss Polar. There's many cars I think got penalties for ignoring yellow flags, so that will be because Ron and Arrows is fun, so they can't get that taken away from each other. Now, if they do not stop, as they get awfully close, all of them to coming together immediately as they push down the straight, as we're going to see any manoeuvres up the front. Well, and it's Kian leading this field away by 0.8 of a second straight away. They funnel themselves down to the braking zone. One of the
Dino on the inside of Harry, sort of going off on the soft compound tyres, tries to pull, and actually Zapata might get a beautiful switchback coming out of this, and in the end gets the win and just put completely into his rear end. Zapata's not going to be happy with that. I think he's got damage as well. Volakongan getting past Nuth in the background as well. Everything seems to be happening further down the field in this restart. Nuth is actually letting, I think, drivers through. Volakongan through, Schumacher through. Nuth hasn't got the pace, doesn't want to put himself into that 5. Schumacher, though, ran the outside of turn number 10 and 11 as Harry's out the race. But that's perfect because Schumacher ran the outside, gets the job done. 3rd safety car of the night. And Anoop, I'm beginning to agree with you, my friend.
You know how I said earlier on, right? Safety cars breed... I didn't mean literally, guys. I thought as leaders come in, Kian straight to the pit lane. They're all going to come in now. They've got no choice. Go and set a medium tyres, because if they don't, the more they stay out, more trouble they're going to be in. So Stefano will lead this race. Devon stays out. Brute stay out as well. I think that is all of them. So those are the only guys that stayed out from the start of this race. Now, I don't think that's the smartest... Oh, wait, no, hang on a minute. They've been allowed past the safety car. They have been allowed past the safety car.
What?
Now, well, that is interesting. I'm not quite sure what's happened there, but they've got very lucky. They have got very lucky indeed. They can count their chickens because they've been buggered completely. They get to stop now, and if I'm them, I'm coming straight in because otherwise you're going to be quite far down the field. But
oh
what? They get close to that safety car, don't they?
Jesus Christ, I thought Ron was going to go in the back of the safety car, let alone very close to the safety car. God almighty, it gave me a fright in the commentary box. Honestly, what is Ron trying to do to me? Yeah, the green is flashing on the top of the safety car, by the way. So I think, instead of actually getting deployed, and because the code and the game has actually done this, I think correctly, it's brought, obviously, the guys out on the safety car next lap around as opposed to this lap. And for the likes of Stefano, for the likes of Devon, they've actually got a little bit of a freebie here, potentially. They've got technically a free pit stop once these guys, of course, catch up. And they're having still to stick to deltas. So these guys have actually got a free pit stop over the rest of the field.
Yeah, it'll be very close to see if they can gain any time as they come into the pit lane. Yeah, they are all going to come in then. So... that safety car controversy in Abu Dhabi, I've told that one somewhere before, haven't we? Look in the chat also doing it. Safety cars had a bit of an issue there. I'm 90% certain that should have picked up the leaders. That should have picked them up. So Schumacher will leave this race from Volakogan then, now in second. Arrow's up into third. Where is Stefano going to come out with Key and everything? I'll come up behind them. It'll be a bit close out of the pit lane for a few of them further down. But I think, in fact, they've lost time more than gained anything out of this. They're going to be very close with Jerry. Out the pit lane he comes. It'll be side by side with an Alpine. As, well, that's now the racing. Now, we've got a bit of an interesting thing. Who's got the position then? I think it's Stefano's got it. Yeah, Stefano just has it, unless the game now decides to give him a penalty because he overtook slightly, but I think he's got away with it right there. So, racing out the pit there to see who can get to the timing line correctly first, but Schumacher now leads this way to Volakogan, who a few moments ago I wasn't expecting to be anywhere near these guys. There were two McLarens, by the way, who were fronting backwards at the last two corners like 2 laps ago, and now third and fourth. So, safety cars help them a little bit, hasn't it?
Yeah, definitely so. Schumacher and Volakongan, I think, have been helped by the safety car. Definitely more Volakongan than anyone else because he's on that set of hard compound of tyres. Ron as well on that set of hard compound of tyres. And basically, they were, I think, Volakongan was 14th, if I'm not mistaken, in the last safety car restart. And then Ron was right down the back of the field. So these guys, Volakongan and Ron, have been completely helped by the safety car. We have got another lap under the safety car as well. So those tyres, Schumacher's tyres, I don't think will make it to the end of the race. I think that is for absolute certain. He's guaranteed, I think, now another safety car to try and get to the end of the race. Volakongan, however, though, in second position, is not banking on the safety car. He wants to try and get to the end of the race, and I don't blame him because he is on the best strategy call, I think, out of everyone so far in this race. And then you've got, obviously, the fresh medium runners, keying all the way downwards to the back of the field of Safala. That is going to be interesting. How much ground are they going to make up throughout this race remains to be absolutely seen. But Schumacher leads the way. Volakongan there in second. Ari's there in third. Anoop also saying safety car. Apparently there's a mechanical failure, yeah. And the safety car has been out 3 times. It can only come out a maximum of 5 times. Dare I say, hopefully we're not going to see another safety car.
You know, I mean, 5 safety cars is always possible. I'm pretty certain if you get 5 safety cars, that means your race is pretty much done anyway, because it'll take it to the end of the race nearly. But good news, by the way, everyone has got rid of their 5-second time limits. Only one has got a penalty. That is for the 3 seconds for corner cutting for Miss Parla, who did corner cutting at the entrance of the pit lane. So let's see what they can do now up front. We've got 3rd safety car. We've had, 4 racing laps and pre-turns so far. I mean, yeah, always when I commentate, something weird happens to this game, and it seems to be happening again. So hopefully we don't get another safety car. Only 2 retirements though for Reds. So I mean, the hit ratio for a safety car has been very high. One driver lost a front wing, which I mean, I guess may have caused safety. Is it on increased or reduced? That's the thing. Is it just on normal? That's what I'm wondering. I can have a look actually, can't I?
I don't know. Zafford there saying in the comment section, which I think
Reduced.
It is on reduced. It's on reduced, and we've got
It's on
3
reduced.
safety cars already.
Game. Wow, I mean, safety car in this lap. I mean, I've seen cars like 6, 7 cars go out of race and it not brought one safety car out. This one, I've seen 1 car out of the race, 2 front wings, and 3 safety cars. I mean, fair enough, Game. I mean, you got to do what you got to do. I mean, Harry's out of this race damage earlier on with a rear wing damage, so the fact he managed to carry on as much as he did, fair enough. I believe, of course, he did take that whack on the rear end out of the penultimate corner at the beginning of that number 1. Brought out the first safety car with no up, hitting the wall at the final corner. But for the 4th time this afternoon, we get ready to go, and Schumacher's going to be going in a run about 3, 2, 1, and I think it will pelt the throttle right about now. No, now. No, you're going to wait at the last corner. Let's go. I mean, no, he's got to go soon. Now, there we go. Now he's going. A bit twitchy on the rear end. Yellow cars. I've got a car for the last corner again, so everyone's struggling. But hopefully now we get a couple of laps where no one hits a wall. Schumacher's gone and taken a different line at turn number 1. A little bit cheeky because he gained more time than that would have been, but he gets away with it. A bit squiggly on the rear end as well. But as they head down, of course, in towards turn number 3, we've got an Aston Martin for Kean. Straight on the move, tries to go around the outside. He needs to be careful right now. Doesn't end up getting caught up in an incident as he tries to go the long way around. Now, let's see, has he got the car down a straight line to try and get the toe on the McLaren, who's on the back of the other McLarens. They go to the left. He'll dive out to the right-hand side. Might try to go suddenly left and try to dive up the inside. No, thinks better of it. Can try and go around the outside. It's going to be difficult. Might get a bit of contact here as it come awfully close to contact, a little bit on the exit, a bit more wheel-to-wheel contact as he comes down the straight. Now, which way are you going to go? Now you go to the outside line. The Ferrari's trying to make it free abreast then as they come down the straight, as they rub on each other then, as they come into the left-hander. Ferrari on the inside. Aston Martin's gone around the championship potential leader and the McLaren going round, and that's gone from bad to worse for the driver who was at the stage of this race. Looked like he could extend the championship, well, get towards the front of the championship, now find himself down in 15th position, and never wait on your morals is what they say. A mistake for him. Now he's got to have it all to work for straight again as Conniff and Ron at the back, but Schumacher up the front of this order. Volkogan in second as Arrows goes very wide out the last corner.
Yeah, Aries runs really wide at the final corner. Now Jerry's trying to go all the way around the outside of turn number 1. This will be a remarkable move if he can pull this off the Mercedes, forced off track there by the McLaren. Not too wide in towards turn number 2, then too wide in towards turn number 3, and Jerry gets the job done. Or does he? Because Aries is still side by side with him, and now Stefano joining in the back as well. On that 3-lap medium compound of tyres that he's got, darted down the inside line. Aries, though, outmastered by Jerry in the end. Jerry through his into 4th, a bit of snap of oversteer, and now Aries, Stefano, and now look at Rowan as well on the back. It's literally drag car racing on the way down in towards turn number 6. It's remarkable. Aries and Stefano now side by side. Stefano tries to lunge it to the inside line. OP against Yazoo. Where have we seen this before? PSGL Esports Cup. And now the OP team of Rowan trying to get involved as well. Looks to the inside line in the Alpine. Now side by side with Aries, and Aries is dropping down all the way through the field. And now Rowan, is he going to have a run at Stefano in towards turn number 9? Might try and get the switch back to the inside line. Not going to work that time there, my friend, but Schumacher leads the way. Volkogan in second, Aurelian in third, and that contact with Ron, that contact with Kean further down the field. They're now down 15th and 17th position. Aurelian, who was pretty much close to Kean in the championship, he's there in third. That is absolutely worked out in his favour. And look who he's got ahead of him. The man currently sitting in second in the championship standing, Volkogan.
Yeah, DRS now enabled again then, but Schumacher with a 1.5 second lead then, almost 1.6 second. He's absolutely bolting out the horses then, so he is gone and trying to run away with it. Aurelian trying to chase down to make it, well, it's a Ferrari powered 1, 2, 3 as the things currently stand. Then it's the Mercedes in 4th, then comes the other Ferrari powered car ahead of the Alpine, the only Renault powered car in the order. But here is Aurelian's best chance though, straight away. And Volkogan's going to be under real pressure and down the straight. It's going to be burn the ERS time. Yellow flags. The other Ferrari's gone dropped it down at the back of the circuit. But here comes Aurelian. Is he going to try and go make a move straight away? He's going to wait for the second DRS zone. He's going to wait for the second DRS zone then as he gets a good exit through here. Volkogan gets a little bit deep now on the exit with the help of DRS, with the help of ERS. Should try and come back through then. Volkogan not using any, and it's going to go to the right-hand side. Swoop round the outside, then he'll get straight through then into second position. And Volkogan does not want to battle that one too heavily at this stage of the race. He doesn't want to make a mistake. Meanwhile, the Mercedes behind has a massive twitch there and manages to keep it out of the wall. Somehow, he survived that one. Further back, the other Mercedes getting involved in a battle between him and Mispala, who's making up positions. He comes through the field, but how on earth has he kept that one out of the wall? Jerry, hats off to you, Sunshine. Normally, like we saw with 1 or 2 cars going off through there before, it's straight Armco barrier, but at least we've got a few laps of racing action finally.
We've got, honestly, maybe saving the season right there from Jerry. That was unbelievable. We've had so many really near moments as that, yeah, Kean into the prick. They must have pricked up, I think, a bit of damage potentially on that last lap there. But I've seen saves of the season already this season. That, I think, just tops the whole lot. Jerry, honestly, how on earth he's kept that on the curb, bouncing on the left-hand side curb, has a huge snap of oversteer, gets caught on the outside curb, runs wide, nearly side drifts it in towards the wall. I do not know how he's still going in that race. Absolutely remarkable. And now look at him, he's running the back of Volakonga for third, looking to the inside line.
He's going for it.
Back. Oh my god, what a move! Jerry to the inside line, gets the job done, somehow gets that car stopped, and Volakonga now has got DRS. Both of them, in fact, have got DRS, because they were in DRS range on Aurelian, but Jerry through and he's into third. This man is on absolute fire tonight, the TF man. He is a serious talent so far. Literally signed up as a reserve a couple of weeks ago, now putting himself out in the ring, certainly with a look to next season. Jerry there in third, now in the back of Aurelian. How he got that car stopped was Dino, I think.
Dino.
Yeah, Dino ran coming out of
yeah,
turn
front
number 10.
wing's gone.
That is
going to be a safety car. No. They've got, finally, it hasn't deployed a safety car for no front wing. Well, hallelujah. I think they've, Bert Moylan has fallen asleep potentially now. He's had enough. He's gone, right, I can't do this anymore. I've been leading this race more than the leaders have been leading this race. I'm pretty certain he has led more laps than the actual rest of the leaders have so far. As Dino dives into the pit lane, he's probably going to be pretty grumpy. There's no safety car. So is Kean as well, actually. So the 2 Aston Martins now plumb dead last, but Schumacher up front is pile up. One car off. There's Darrow off, Arrows off. Now that will be a safety car, and block the middle of the circuit. So what? They've gone wide out the corner. He's dropped the rear end round, and there's been contact like that. So that's a lot of damage, and well, in real life, I imagine that McLaren, I hope you'd be okay there, but that is saved Kean's bacon. They're going for a set of soft compound tyres and a new nose. He's damaged his nose again somewhere. So set of soft compound tyres. He is going to be counting his chickies there as chickens, should I say? Chickies? Chickens. There we go. As safety car low is not going to... Oh, that's Dino. Don't worry. Hang on. I've got mistaken. The catching leaders. That's... I tell you what, that confused me for a second there. I thought that was the leader they're catching up. I'm so used to seeing Kean at the front this race. And now he's down there at the back. And as long as he doesn't hit the safety car, he'll be fine. There it is on the left. Says hello to him. Give him a little wave if you want, as he passes the bright red... Wow, the bright red Mercedes. I don't like that livery, by the way. I prefer the green Aston Martin or the silver Mercedes. In the comments, let us know, what's the best safety car livery? Is it the red or is it the silver? I like the silver because I just like silver cars.
Ooh. Stefano into the pit lane. Will Murdoch also into the pit lane as well. So these are risking, well, potentially, well, not punctures towards the end of the race, but they're risking potentially point-scoring finishes here. Futzbauer's in, Ron is into the pit lane, so actually, in fact, they've actually been quite smart. Stefano and Will Murdoch are outside of the point. Almost. Will Murdoch certainly is, but Stefano isn't. He's going to be there in 10th. And Will Murdoch, in fact, has been jumped by Stefano in the pit lane. That confused me for a second there, but there we are. Schumacher does lead the way, rallying in second, Jerry there in third. Honestly, Crazy Gamer is literally, I think, going to say what I was about to say as well, as Dara and Aries have left the session, I think. Crazy Gamer, though, saying in the chat, I think there's been more safety car laps than racing laps. Yeah, totally agree. Totally agree with that, and it's a real shame. Obviously, it is on reduced, I believe, as well. Is the settings, and it always gets set up this way. Every single week. Ron, of course, the lobby host as well. So with him still in the race, obviously all the settings are correct. I'm sure he's checked them through and through before he's actually invited everyone into the lobby as well. But Abu Dhabi, the real nature of the beast. I thought Baku was bad. Abu Dhabi is becoming even worse here tonight in F2. but Schumacher leads the way, Aurelian in second, Jerry there in third, and do you know who I think that actually saves out of everyone, Liam? That actually saves that man there in fourth, Volakongan, set a hard compound of tyres. He's going to be on very similar tyre wear to Jerry and Aurelian, who's ahead of him. Schumacher, I don't think, is going to get to the end of the race on those tyres. If he does, then he's a miracle worker.
But if he doesn't, be able to.
If he doesn't, and Aurelian and Jerry are in real trouble towards the end of the field, as with the rest of the mediums behind him, Volakongan could be setting on a potential win here.
Well, I mean, in theory, they should be able to go to the end of the race. I mean, we've had, what, 12 laps of safety car total, I think, minimum right now. We've only had, what, 7 laps of full racing race, I think. Potentially. I've had, what, 4 safety car? Yeah, 4 safety cars, so it should equal round about 10 laps, 10, 11, 12 laps. We're getting up to that window now, so it stays about 3-4 laps. So, yeah, around about that. So, it's been a processional race, I suppose, for the safety car. But Mylander, you know what? He's having some fun. Namsko's coming in. Is that Knuth coming into the pit lane as he comes in right there? But yeah, safety cars really bred the safety car today. That's the story of the day. I put the word on it, and it's happened.
I thought Knuth was coming on to set us off compound of tyres there, and then I saw it was just the red down the suits of the Red Bull guys. So Knuth is actually on a set of medium compound of tyres. My vision, I have got glasses on, by the way, if you didn't notice at the start of the stream. Knuth, though, in 13th position. Unlucky for some, hopefully not going to be unlucky for him as this race goes on. Hopefully not going to be unlucky in terms of a 5th safety car either as well. Dino and Keane, by the way, are 14th and 15th. Aston Martin, I believe, we're leading the constructor standings, and I'm actually going to tell you, because we didn't actually go through the constructor standings earlier on. If I get them up, Aston Martin were in the lead of the constructor standings as well. 88 points, Haas in second on 82, Mercedes third on 67, Alpine fourth on 64, Ferrari fifth on 63, Red Bull sixth on 60, so you can see how tight it is in terms of the constructors. Alfa Romeo on 7th and 56, McLaren 8th and 42, Alfa Tauri 9th and 24, Williams in 10th on 18 points. Didn't show you that graphic a little bit earlier on. I've just got up on the left-hand side reading the results out there. But Aston Martin, this is, if there's any race to throw away a championship potential winning advantage, it's this one here. And at this stage, in terms of the Drivers' Championship, in theory, as it stands, Volakongan will be leading, I believe, the championship in 4th position as it stands right now. Aurelian, I think, is going to move to 3rd as well as it stands, with Stefano there in 9th. And Kian, of course, further down the field as the safety car, once again, coming in the slap. Virtual Bert Malander is definitely getting his paycheck for sure, as now Schumacher is the virtual Bert Malander. He's now the virtual safety car, and from one German to another, we now get another safety car restart. The 4th one of tonight, and please, for the beg of everyone in the viewership, let it be the last, because I really can't take much more. Schumacher now goes, coming out the final couple of corners, through 15, through 16, and now at the final corner on the run to the line, gets a really good start. Aurelian there in 2nd, Jerry there in 3rd, and already you can see Aurelian, I should say, warming up the tyres there in the Ferrari. All clean through turn number 1, I believe, though, in the background of shot. They're certainly filtering through there without any drama, but Schumacher leads the way, and is there going to be drama in towards the hairpins? Aurelian's right on the back of Schumacher already, with those 3-lap pressure tyres in the Ferrari, on the back of the Alfa Romeo, the Mercedes there, right there from Jerry in 3rd position, but Schumacher leading the way. There's been contact further down the field. Sapala's been spun. I think Namskog got caught up in that slightly as well. He's lost position to Will Murdoch. It's going to be now side by side with Sapalo, Ron in the background as well, but still on board with Aurelian on the back of Schumacher, not closing down. Devon, though, has got a really good restart, and now Namskog, the championship leader, to the inside line, and Will Murdoch needs this move to try and pull off any points as possible on the back of Will, but in the end Will just holds firm, and the former GT Sport, or the former Gran Turismo Series driver, there in 7th position, Namskog there in 8th, Stefano there in 9th, and in the end, apart from Zapala having the spin, and I think Namskog getting caught up in that collision, everyone relatively clean start, which I hope I'm not going to now curse as Rowan tries to go around the outside of Volakongan.
Yeah, he's trying to go around the outside. It wasn't going to work there. You'd end up getting contact. He's still trying to push the rear end of that Haas up the banking as they come through the last couple of corners. But those medium compound tyres still at this stage of the race are going to be a little bit warmer. They're going to be a bit more grippier than those hard compound tyres. But it's more of a race of attrition. It's more of a race of who can do what and where, and what is the strategic masterclass then. So far for Schumacher, he's going well for him. A 3/10 gap then from Aurelian. Then comes Jerry, and then of course Volakongan, who is getting slowly bit of a gap, but he's done well. He's got a bit of a gap ahead and he's got a bit of a gap behind. He's trying to make his own race. As definitely Namsko's dropped a little bit. Downers up the inside is Stefano taking an absolute dive and a half behind as well as Rowan. Getting a move there as he passes Volok Hogan down the straight. And Devon's going to come through. He's going to have to squeeze him out a little bit, so they're going to box him in. They've boxed him completely in, and up the inside goes the Red Bull. The Alpine's going to really help him here, as now look behind as Will Murdoch tries to come around the outside as well. This is turning into an absolute terrible moment then for Volok Hogan, who's dropped down 1, he's dropped down 2, he might find himself down a 3rd, and up the inside he goes. Goes the Alpha Tauri, manages to get it stopped just about. The Haas tries to hold around the outside, can't quite do it, and Volok Hogan now dropping down the order like a brick in water, and this is not what he wanted to do. He could have been winning this race a few moments ago. He was right up there. These hard compound tyres have just not fired up at all, and now he's under pressure from Stefano, and then Namsko not too far behind, and this title lead all of a sudden changing in every which way you go. Right now I'm pretty certain the highest championship running driver is actually still Volok Hogan, just about. He's already down in 7th. Is it not?
It's Aurelian in 2nd position. Aurelian right on the back of Schumacher. He's still in mathematical contention. I think he's like 16 points behind. But Aurelian at the stage. Volok Hogan 7th, Namsko in 9th. This is perfect for him. He's going to be taking the fight at least to the final round as Stefano lets the inside line of Volok Hogan, and this might be another position lost. Indeed it is. Stefano somehow gets on Alfa Romeo up an inside of an Alfa Romeo size gap.
Aurelian
as now Aurelian closing on Schumacher for the race lead, and now look at Jerry in behind as well. Jerry hunting blood, maybe to make it 3 wide down the straight as Schumacher tries to hem him in on the inside line, coming through 6th through the right hander of turn number 7 out the chicane. Schumacher forced him wide, nearly off into the wall. Dino leaves the session further down the field. That caused a bit of mayhem, I think, with Kian and Newton behind. But now Jerry and Schumacher once again banging wheels. Is there really any need to bang wheels down in towards turn number 9? In the end though, Jerry says thank you very much, I'm coming through anyways, gets the job done. He's into 2nd. And I can tell you from a little bit of background story as Devon and Will Murdoch, in fact, the 2 sister cars are fighting side by side, and Will Murdoch through round the outside, and in the end, Will Murdoch, who would have thought he could potentially win this race? He's there in 5th, much fresher tyres than everyone else ahead. He is absolutely carving his way through the field. Will Murdoch, the gold here in F2, is making a real fire performance tonight. But back to my point there, Volok Hogan there in 8th, Namsko now in 9th. The championship leaders, 1st and 2nd in the championship, obviously reversed round in 8th and 9th. They're going to be fighting out on track very soon indeed as well. This, I cannot say. 6 laps to go. Aurelian leads the way. Jerry in 2nd. Schumacher in 3rd. Welcome to the wacky races in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, Dino, meanwhile, is... Dino just pitted, actually. I'm pretty certain as he is in the pits. Is Stefano on a move as well as Jerry with DRS. And if I'm Aurelian, I'm not battling this one right now. He knows he needs the points, but he knows right now he doesn't need to trip over a car. Doesn't need to have contact, doesn't need to end up losing points as Jerry thinks about a move up the inside. Down to the chicanes, behind them the Red Bull there gets a move. That is Devon making up a position on Stefano, as now with DRS the train we come. And which way is Jerry going to go? Is he close enough to make a move? Then down into the corner. Not quite. What about Will Murdoch? He makes another position up. Now up to 4th. Might make another one up to 3rd. He's going to try around the outside. They touch wheels then. He won't do it there. He'll get a bit of an argy-bargy nudge back lane. No, says, no, he says. I'm going for 1st, says Will Murdoch. As he's trying to go one way or the other. You know what? He might as well go for 1st. As off the road is Miss Sparlow's dropped it somewhere down the back. But somehow these drivers keeping it in order as Namsko drops in battles with a Ferrari trying to go around the outside. Can't quite do it there as these guys are all getting a bit close. Lap 25 as we come then at the last 4 or 5 laps of this race. Another yellow flags, and there is Miss Sparla, who's just floored it into the wall a little bit there as he tries to get the car around. Should be their safety car. And I don't know why Miss Sparla's done that there. He dropped the car, he could have gone backwards. He just floored it straight. I don't know if he's trying to get the car around, but he's floored it in the wall. And, well, that's going to mean we're going to have a 3-lap sprint at the end of this race now. Is everyone going for a set of softs, you reckon?
They won't. They've missed the pit lane at least this time around, but I would assume, yeah, everyone's going to have to come into the pit lane. But if you're in Will Murdoch and Stefano's shoes, would you come in the pit lane? Because those tyres can easily get to the end of the race. I wouldn't if I was Will and Stefano. They'll have track position. Futzpab and Ron have landed themselves potentially in the top 3, top 4 position at the end of this race as well. Nuth can stay out. I can probably guarantee you Kean can stay out as well. The rest I'm not so sure about. Volakongan maybe can stay out as well. Apart from that, I think everyone else will be on for a set of soft compound tyres. But this is the 5th safety car we have had tonight. Full of safety cars here in Abu Dhabi. I've never known an F2 race like it. I wish Evan Dalton was back, because I'm sure the curse would not be here if he was here in the commentary box alongside me.
Oh, Namsko's disconnected.
Session. Yeah, he's disconnected from the session. Hopefully, he'll be able to get back in before the end of the race. If not, then the championship leader might be falling further down the field. Aurelian, though, is staying out. Aurelian stays out. Jerry stays out. Schumacher also staying out. Will Murdoch, I think, had halfway house into the pit lane. Volakongan was in. Namsko's back. Namsko's back in. His AIs came into the pit lane and has just rejoined as he comes into the pit lane, which is not too bad at all. Ron there on a set of mediums. He's interestingly in. Namsko's AI goes set of softs. Dino and Sapala out there, of course, might gain positions further down the field. But I am honestly absolutely shocked. Aurelian, Jerry, Schumacher stay out. Yes, they haven't had much run under the from the safety cars, but are they really going to get to the end? Especially if I was Schumacher. 18 lap all mediums, 22 laps to the end of the race. They might not make it to the end. Will Murdoch is in a really good position, and he's now setting up his ERS, which is absolutely crucial as well.
Yeah, this is where he can win this race, if there's a chance for him to win this race. Will Murdoch, who I'm pretty certain comes into this one, his best result being, well, 5 points and 2 points at the early stage of, well, in the last 2 races. Hasn't won a race so far. Of course, joined not too long ago, and now he can find himself in a potential position here, as long as things go his way, to win his first race of the season. And what a race he could win! Safety car after safety car. A bit of controversy here and there. Should we have this many safety cars for the amount of damage? Probably not, because normally we don't. As we are just waiting for the safety car to come in. It should be, if it's not this lap, it'll be definitely next lap. Yeah, it should be next lap, 27, 8, 9. So yeah, 2 laps to go at the end of the race. So no DRS will be enabled for the drivers unless it comes in right now and decides to, as it glitches out a little bit. I think that someone tried to rejoin, but we are just waiting a little bit. Miss Parla, who's down the back of the field. I don't quite know what happened to him. I cut to him and he was flooring it into a wall pointing halfway around the circuit. So either he tried a flag spin and it went terribly wrong, in which case, oh dear, or it went even more terribly wrong as he spun the car and then spun it again. Either way, it's not gone quite so well. Is who's that? Fruits coming in the pit lane? Is that Krunov coming in the pit instead of Softs? He's going to go see what he can do right now. He's going to drop to the back of the field, but more people come in, more this is going to promote Volakongan up the field. And you know, it's 2 laps. He's got to overtake 8 cars. It's not impossible to do it. I mean, it might not be likely to do it, but you can see the leader. You can see the safety car from here. So you never say never in this race, is what I'm trying to say. Everyone ahead of him could all crash together. The tyres that are going off up front, Aurelian and Jerry, Schumacher as well, all those tyres going off. Will Murdoch's got the nice fresh tyres. Rowan as well has got fresh. The rest of them have got fresh, and of course, pretty much 9th down was all on the set of soft compound tyres, which are even more fresh. And Miss Parla, who is in the pit lane yet again, and the safety car will come in this lap because he should catch the rest of the field up by the time he gets around with his 3-second time penalty. So we're going to have a 2-lap sprint to the end of this race. I've seen that somewhere at Baku. It's not, well, there's a Mercedes in second, which there was in real life in Baku. Let's hope it doesn't fly off at turn number 1.
Let's hope not, because I have done some mental calculations about the Drivers' Championship as it stands, and we are tied as it stands. As the safety car's coming in this lap, we are tied as it stands. As the result, if the results were to finish as they are now, lap 27 out of 29, Aurelian would be tied with Namsko for the lead of the championship. And given that Aurelian was 16 points behind, Namsko's out the points, he would be tied in championship. And in fact, Aurelian, because he would have as more wins as Namsko, he would be actually leading the championship on countback with the most amount of wins here in PSF2 this season. But as it stands, anything could happen in these final 2 laps. This is going to be wild, this is going to be wacky, this is going to be everything in between. Hopefully you are geared up now, because we are geared up for this rain as well. But Aurelian is tied for the championship as it stands. Can he remain there though? We have to find out in 2 laps' time as Aurelian now floors it, coming out of the right-hander of turn number 15, then through the right-hander of turn number 16. This is nerve-wracking now for these guys toward the front end of the field. Will Murdoch, though, was already trying to look for the move on Schumacher, maybe down in towards turn number 1. Doesn't want to risk it, though. He had a really good restart. Volakongan, though, on that set of softs, one to watch out for. Futzfab as well on that set of mediums, maybe one to watch out for in terms of a big split coming in the field. Stefano, though, right on the back of Rowan, side by side, in fact, coming out of turn number 3. Now towards turn number 4. Will Murdoch switches to the inside line, and Stefano looks to the inside line. Should get the job done. The AlphaTauri's alongside. Schumacher's tyres, I think, are going as well. That front left looks really, really dodgy coming through the left-hander of turn number 5. But in the end, Aurelian leads the way. Jerry there in second. Will Murdoch there in third. There's contact further down the field. Nuth and Dino are making a little bit of contact. Dino certainly off in the wall. I think Nuth had a collision with them down the straight as Devon now runs to the inside line of Rowan. Now side by side, 2 by 2. Noah's Ark, they go up the curb. Goes Rowan. Devon though gets around the outside of him. Beautiful move by the Red Bull. And now the Alfa Romeo Stefano, now right on the back of these guys. But Aurelian leads the way. Jerry in second, Will Murdoch in third. And in the end, Liam, we're not going to get DRS for the rest of this race. So this is now pure old-school fashion Formula 1 racing, which I'm sure is what everyone would like, as Namsko has got into the point. He's there into 10 passing Futzbab.
It's going to get more positions there as contact between Ron and another car as they come together down there. That was never going to work. Schumacher with a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits as we come on to the final lap of this race then. Here we go, 29 out of 29. Aurelian leads from Jerry in second. Will Murdoch somehow on the podium. So now Rowan, a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane at the end of this race. It's gone from bad to worse from him as Volakongan now up into 6th. Namsko then trying to get another position then. Can he go up the inside of the Red Bull? He's going to try and take the dive up the inside. Can he get the car stopped? Yes, he can, as he does it there. And now down the straight as here comes Volakongan trying to get past up the front. Is all going to stay. Is Jerry going to think about one last move? 4 attempts, 2 attempts. He thinks about pulling out to the inside line. Can't quite do it there. Further down the field, one of them McLarens there taking a dive. There's a bit of contact as Volakongan gets a terrible exit right there. Namsko could be with him down the straight, but can't quite do it. As now Volakongan trying to battle his Schumacher up front though. Leads 3 drivers all nose to tail right now. Who is going to finish on this podium position as Jerry gets a twitch? Will Murdoch trying to go round the outside. A car off at the back as they all just about try and hang on to it. Aurelian through the last couple of corners in this race then. Into the second last couple of corners. Into the last double right then. Into the right. And then into the last corner. Unless he makes a mistake, he will win this race. Through he comes. Who's going to finish second? It's going to get very close. Aurelian wins. Jerry in second. Will in third. Who is going to get it? And Namsko is out of this race at the line. Namsko out on the finish line. There's big contact down there. He will not score points surely in this race. Volakongan dropped down tonight. I think they two collided.
They did. I think they had a moment coming out the final corner. I'm not sure if there was a dive bomb to the inside line. Certainly in the background I saw that. But Namsko out of the race, championship leader, no longer championship leader. Ron somehow picks out driver of the day. I can't really make out what to make out of that race, to be honest. An absolute craze fest here in PSGL F2, in the PS tier. But Namsko out of the race, that big talking point. There's so many big talking points. This man here, though, how on earth, provisionally, he is going to be leading the championship with 1 round to go, tied on points. I'm going to have to do mental calculation. Volakongan, though, I'm pretty sure either ended up nearly out the points or he finished 9th or 10th position. So he is going to be in 3rd position no matter how you look at it. So Volakongan, it's going to be, I think, 3rd, 4th, 3, 4 points separating the top 3 provisionally. After tonight, I'm sure there's going to be a load of stewards reports, though, coming after that one, because that was just utter craziness, utter driving standards, which shouldn't be really expected, I think, from an F2 standard. But in the end, Aurelian takes his 3rd win of the season, takes the win somehow. Jerry pushed him all the way. In the end, just didn't have the pace. Another lap with DRS, I think it would have been different, as Jerry, I think, deserve potentially that win. But Aurelian, the Frenchman, comes out on top from Jerry there in second. Will Murdoch there somehow in third position. Stefano in fourth. Ron, by the way, that last safety car, as I said, really came into his play. 19th up to 5th. That might be worthy of a drive of the day performance for sure. Kean, how's Kean in the points? Kean 6th. Futzbab in 7th. Devon there in 8th. Volakongan there in 9th. Schumacher there in 10th. Nuth, Sapala, Dino, 13 finishes in the end. Namstel crashed out right at the final corner. Might have got spun. Rowan as well, I think, crashed out as well. Final lap. Dara, Aries, Harry, and Noah all DNFing out on track. And my, oh my, what an unbelievably crazy race that was in F2. Matai saying in the comment section as well, Namstel did dive bomb Volakongan to the inside line, and in the end, Namstel the one ending up out of the race, Volakongan the one ending up in the points. But as it provisionally stands, without anything going on in terms of the difference for the points, it will be tied on points, and Aurelian would be leading the championship 3 wins to his name, which, quite frankly, Liam, after that race is absolutely remarkable.
Yeah, I think if my maths is correct, I think we'll have Kian, Namsko, Volakogan, and obviously Aurelian. I think they should be separated by at least 5 to 6 points total between all 4 of them. So that final at Kota, if my maths is correct, at least 2 of them are going to be even closer than that one. But it is going to be a barnstorming finale in 7 days' time. Obviously, I'm presumably not going to be here, as Evan hopefully returns from his cold hospital injuries he's got. I hope he's okay. He's in the chat, I can see. So, Evan, we love you and hope you come back soon. But hopefully we should get some interviews in just a few moments' time if they join our lovely waiting room.
It just lagged out completely there. I'm not sure if Discord's...
Can anyone else hear you? I don't know.
There we go. OBS just had a bit of a faff because I was messaging on Discord saying, oh, apparently Jerry's on the toilet. So I don't think we're going to get an interview with him unless you want to hear...
Let's not go there. Is he doing a Kimmy?
I think he is.
He's missed the presentation by Evil and James.
He has indeed. Right, I'm just going to move guys in. We are... What commentary box are we in, by the way? Are we in 1 or 2? We're in 1.
Yes, we've stolen 1.
I was going to say, if we put them in 2, Will Murdoch would have just been coming into the PSF 1. It would be like, what the hell has he done? We're waiting on Aurelian as well to join the interview room. In the end, though, absolute craziness out on track. There is the man there as well. And we can now speak to the man who, at the end of all of that race, provisionally, is championship leader coming into next week for the final race of the season in Circuit of the Americas. What? And, of course, that is Mr. Aurelian. And Aurelian, 3rd win from you out on track tonight. Did it look likely? Because those safety cars really threw a spanner in the works.
Yeah, hello guys. Yeah, I have been very lucky with... Yeah.
I think we lost you there for a second. Are you still here?
Yeah.
You are still here. What were you saying? Sorry, I didn't catch any of that.
You didn't heard what I said?
I didn't, no.
I said that I have been very lucky with the safety car. And I can also thanks Ron and Ares for the Shazoo plan. Yeah, I'm really thankful for them. Honestly, before this race, I was pretty happy because I was still in the fight for the championship, while I was 35 points down 4 races ago, and now I'm in contention for it. So yeah, we will see in the last race. It's gonna be very intense, and yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be really intense for sure. And obviously, those results, I think you have had a really strong second half of the season. That DNF in Canada, that DNS as well in Monaco, which you didn't, of course, race there. And then in the end, after that, you came one in Britain, obviously just nearly outside of the points in Portugal. You finished, I think, 10th there. One in
Yeah.
Belgium, very good finish last week, third in Australia. Where has this form come from? Because as I was saying to Liam in qualifying, you and Kian coming into it were the four men coming into tonight.
Honestly, at the beginning of the season, I wasn't practicing at all because I was in contention uh, in another championship, and we had like two or three races to go. So I put all the focus on it, and now this championship is over. I have put all I have put everything on PSGL, and yeah, to try a comeback and at least to win some races and to hope to be promoted in F1. Uh, yeah, so yeah, I'm really happy of my second half of the season.
Yeah, you wouldn't be as well the first man to get promoted from F2 in the Shazoo team. Tom, of course, did that in season 30, which I, of course, had the privilege of covering in Imola. And what is your focus going into this final round of the championship? Because, as I say, provisionally, you are leading the championship because of the amount of wins that you've had. Namsco, you're tied with on points as well. What are the feelings going into that final round of the championship? Is it a feeling of, I can do this? Or is it a feeling of, oh, God, hopefully I don't get crashed or anything?
Yeah, this is very strange because I was 16 point down. So it for me it was like just all in and we will see. And now this is a bit the reverse situation, but I don't have I still don't have any points. So I'm how I can say that I'm still equal points with Namsco, so it's not a big advantage. It's just a win advantage.
It is. It is just a win advantage, and I really want to see that battle next week. You and Nams go out on track and circuit to the Americas. I want to see that. I'm sure everyone else in the room wants to see that as well. Liam, not forgetting about you. Any questions?
I think you've asked them all for that, but I've certainly got some for Sir Will Sir Murdoch, if I can speak my own language, which is a difficult thing for even me to do. Will, first podium of the season. Well, third point of the season as well. Looking at the standings, how are you feeling? The streets might not forget this one for a while.
Was just rolling back the years, I guess. I don't really know how to explain what happened. We didn't get a lot of racing because we got so many safety cars, and then my game crashed. I nearly spun about 5 billion times. Then the fourth safety car really helped me because I was in a good position where if I stayed out, I wouldn't really gain anything, and if I pit, I wouldn't lose a lot. So I thought I'd just roll the dice and ended up working, and then threw some really aggressive moves in, which were clean but very aggressive because I sort of needed to because of how strong this F2 grid is. But yeah, just came here for a bit of fun and ended up having a lot of fun on the podium.
Yeah, obviously, with the 5 safety cars we've managed to get, I mean, Burt Nylander having his paycheck delivered to him by Connor, I imagine, later on today. But with the amount of safety cars, how does that change the complexion of a race for you as a driver?
Well, for me, I like to get into a rhythm. So qualifying is like it's never been my forte. So when I'm in a race, I can just sort of settle down and then see what happens around me and then get into a rhythm. But because of all the safety cars, I wasn't able to do that. So the only way I was really able to get into a rhythm was by just absolutely pushing like hell and making overtakes on with the tyre advantage.
Yes, and with the incidents, did you nearly get caught up any of the incidents?
I'm trying to think. Yes, on the first safety car restart, there was an incident at the chicane, and then I ghosted through Dino, but then I think I must have not been ghosted on his screen or something like that. Went for a move on foot's barb, and then he launched over the curb and did a half spin. What else? Went flying into the bank's left-hander and nearly hit Volokonin. Nearly smacked into Schumacher. So it wasn't like the cleanest race I've ever had, like from my point of view, but like I still got a good result, and none of the incidents were really penalty worthy, so I've not really got anything to worry about.
James, have you got any questions?
Not really from my perspective. I mean, it seems like every season I normally have a Will Murdoch interview, and this is it. This is the Will Murdoch interview that I get every single season. No matter where he follows me, we always get an interview with you. And obviously, with the final round of the championship coming up, Circuit of the Americas, is it a track that you like? Just going to be like, I'm going to go out for a bit of fun.
Connection? James?
Has he gone? Oh.
Oh,
you're back. Hello. Repeat.
Apologies if yeah, I don't know what's going on with my laptop tonight. Yeah, final question from me. Circuit of the Americas, is it a track that you like, or is it a track where you're just gonna have a bit of fun?
I'm trying to think how I did last season. I think I did all right last season. Was it even on the calendar last season? Am I thinking right?
Let me have a look.
Let
me have a look.
F2 PSR. Yes, it was. I didn't finish, right. So normally it's probably not the best, but I mean, my goal for this season was to just get a turn up, help where I can with whoever needs help, I guess. And then, yeah, probably go back into retirement after this game. But yeah.
I think we all will. I think we all be going back into retirement after this game, quite literally. And honestly, I really hope you guys enjoy that, of course, even though the driving standards were well short of what they can be like, of course, in F2. I really hope, guys, you enjoyed that out on track, and hopefully you guys will get some rest, ready for next week, especially rallying, because he is, of course, a championship fight. But both of you can go and enjoy evening.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. Congrats, Will. See you.
Very welcome indeed. And that rounds us off very neatly before my internet decides to pack in, I think. That rounds us off very neatly indeed for PSF2 tonight as well. Big thank you to Will and Aurelian, of course, for taking time out of their lives as well to give you an insight into how their race actually went. And, of course, Mr. Liam. We've got the title decider next week, the United States in Austin, Texas. How do we think the drivers are going to cope with that? Because it is completely different track to Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, of course, COTA, of course, a very new but old school style circuit with its undulation. There's a lot of runoff, but of course, you cannot take privileges with them because of the high speed set, especially, of course, coming out of turn 1, down, of course, into 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, because they're all just the same corner. Of course, they basically, the Silverstone and the Japanese S is just kind of squeezed together. That section of track's going to be quite fun. Of course, the weather, that is always something that can play a part in America. Of course, unlike here in Abu Dhabi, which it usually doesn't rain, usually. We didn't get it here today, but COTA, it could indeed rain. So that'll be something to see. But the drivers, I think, in the politest way I can say it, they are going to be absolutely nervous because, of course, a title decider with at least 4 of them going into it, separated by a minimum of 7 points, I think, is going to be playing on their mind. See who is going to be doing what. Some of them are going to be more aggressive. Some are going to be less aggressive. Of course, we've seen what the likes is, especially in F1 esports, what COTA can do. The last couple of corners, often they make great overtaking opportunities. So I'm looking forward to watching it, and you never know, might commentate if hopefully Evan is back, but if not, I shall be commentating presumably somewhere else in the universe. helping other streams if need be. But of course, I will say it's been very enjoyable to commentate alongside you for the first time, I think, in a long time.
It has. It's been a very, very long time. It might be going on years, I think, since we last commentated together, which I think is just a credit because you are a brilliant commentator, obviously. I hope you guys enjoyed Liam, of course, being in the commentary box as well. Great to have his insight. Great to have his Murray Walker punisms as well in the chat as well, which is always fantastic and always going to be very good. Well received within the community. And also well received in the community as well is this. Because it is the PSGL E-Series, and the calendar was recently released for that as well. This week does mark the start of the E-Series. Japan, of course, in Suzuka for the qualifying night, I should say, and then Imola, France, Netherlands to start off the season. Unfortunately, they couldn't get me to do the commentary for the PSGL E-Series, but however, you are going to be in very, very good capable hands. Joshua Davis marking his return, of course, to PSGL, alongside one of my former old co-commentator colleagues, Mr. Dan Field, and that is, of course, going to be starting on Friday for the 3rd of February, and that is going to be pitting up, of course, against WR Console Tier 1, which is going to be very interesting to see how the Friday battles develop between the E-Series and, of course, the WR Series as well. Of course, the Console Tiers over there. And, of course, the E-Series is not the only thing, because we've also got PC F1, I should say. We now haven't got PSF1. PSF1's on now. If you do want to go and watch that, you'll be redirected, of course, at the end of the stream. But, of course, we are going to, I think, end it off here, as I have just totally forgot what I was going to say. Big thank you to everyone that did tune into the stream. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully Evan's alongside me back in the commentary box as well. If not, though, then it is, of course, going to be, I'm sure, Liam alongside me, or somebody else maybe alongside me, or it could just be me by my little lonesome self as well. But, as I say, I really hope you guys enjoyed the stream. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, tick that notification bell, of course, if you're brand new to the channel. Myself and Mr. Evan Dalton are going to be seeing you next week. However, though, we've got our final chance to say a big thank you to our sponsor, GT Omega, and, of course, the Williams Esports Lounge, which you're not going to be seeing the advert for next week, but we're going to play both of them anyways at the end of the live stream. So, thank you so much for watching, and until the title decider in America, in Austin, Texas, next week for PSF2, goodbye.
This broadcast was brought to you by GT Omega, proudly supporting PSGL.